if you take a look at most vacancies online, you will discover that it is almost impossible for nurses from red list countries to migrate to the UK without NMC PIN. Instead of allowing your IELTS CBT to slip off your fingers just like that, why don't you consider self-sponsorship? It will increase your employability by almost or nearly 100%. Don't give up on that dream. Why will you come this far to quit? Fear of the unknown, to step ahead of others. You kept getting unfortunate messages due to several reasons, but not limited to you are from red list country. Calculating in pounds, will then convert it to Naira and Ghana cedis. So let us do the calculations together. I will break all the expenses down for you step by step. Visitor's visa fee is one, just for you not to be stranded. Miscellaneous, I wrapped it up to be £300. So in total, I have instead of allowing your IELTS or your English proficiency test results and CBT to expire or slip off your fingers just like that, why don't you consider self-sponsorship? Financial implications, that was the next thing that came to your thoughts, right? You see, if you take a look at most vacancies online, you will discover that it is almost impossible for nurses from red list countries to migrate to the UK without NMC PIN. There are people that have been taking this examination for countless number of times. In fact, you are looking at me now, you have taken this examination multiple times, especially the IELTS or OET. You have taken this test probably twice, 5 times, 7 times, 10 times, 14 times, 17 times, 20 times. In fact, I am not exaggerating. People are taking this test almost every month. I have seen someone that took this test 14 times and still counting. Now that you have been able to secure this test result, after all these struggles, after all these fights, after all the money and energy you have put into this particular test or examination, and you have finally gotten a result, why then do you want to let it slip off your fingers? I know that you have been submitting applications countless numbers of time. You have been submitting applications on a daily basis. You are yet to get a positive result. But have you paused and noticed a pattern with the employers recently? You will discover that most of them are interested in nurses that already have the NMC PIN or UK registered nurses. There are many reasons why you are not getting this opportunity. They are not limited to 1, you are from a red list country. 2, the competition is high. The number of applications that these employers get on a regular basis is much. And they may just be advertising for a single spot. So what makes you think that you can stand out amongst the multitude of applications they receive every day? There are some people that their CV are so nourished that the employers cannot even take their eyes off it. The third point why you may not be getting a positive result or an interview opportunity could just be that you do not have an NMC PIN. You now want to ask me, can I have an NMC PIN when I am not in the UK? Yes, that is where the self-sponsorship comes into play. Don't you think that if you garnish your CV, just take for instance, you have stated all the statables in your CV, yet you are still getting countless number of unfortunate messages or emails. It's almost as if as you are submitting, in fact, you have programmed your mind that you are going to get an unfortunate message. It is like, let me just submit, because you are not getting used to the negative results that you are getting. No, don't give up. Don't give up on that dream, because before you started this journey in the first place, you already have it in mind that you are relocating, right? Otherwise, why will you come this far to quit? You have already started, then finish what you have started. Before you know it, 2 years is not actually long. Yes, maybe you just passed the examination, you just passed the test, and you are saying, from now to 2 years is still far. 2 years is not actually long. By the time you blink twice, boom, it is already 2 years, and your IELTS and CBT test result will just expire. And you'll be back to level 1 again. And especially you that it took you several attempts to get the IELTS result. Then you should consider self-sponsorship. Financial implication may not be something that is so huge just as the way you are envisaging it in your mind. After this video, you may realize that it may not be so much that you cannot afford. If you have your NMC PIN is your NMC PIN. So you will no longer bother about your IELTS or CBT expiring. You already have the PIN. And then you will be, let me say, a hot cake. If you want to consider this journey, I will tell you all the processes involved in this video. I'm going to share with you the amount it is going to cost you. We are going to do the calculations together in this video. I will break all the expenses down for you step by step. So first of all, let me tell you what self-sponsorship means, okay? Self-sponsorship simply means that you are taking charge or you are taking full responsibilities of your traveling expenses, of your traveling costs. Let me quickly recap what the employers does before now. You know, right now, UK government policies has changed a lot of things for the employers. So before now, they are still doing it, the employers, some of them are still doing it. It's just that it has reduced a bit. They will employ you and give you a COS, that is certificate of sponsorship. They will give you a contract. Everything will be stated in your COS. And that COS, there is a maintenance column inside that COS. They will tick it. Okay, this mark will notify the visa office that your employer has agreed to take care of your financial responsibilities throughout your period of staying with them. The visa office will no longer have to ask you too many questions like present your bank statement, etc. Because your employer has clearly stated that all the financial implications will rest on them. Visa fee, flight fee, accommodation, your OSCE fee. In fact, some of these employers, they will reimburse you. You know that you have already taken your IELTS and CBT in your home country. So when you come to the UK, some of them, they will reimburse you. They will pay for your IELTS examination that you have taken or OET examination you have taken. They will pay for your CBT. They will give you back the money. And then they will book your OSCE. They will pay for your first attempt of OSCE for you, give you accommodation, pay for your flight ticket. In fact, they take care of all these things before you can stand your feet in the UK. This period, this moment now, most employers are not recruiting from red list countries. And again, most of them, they want people that already have NMC PIN. These benefits, all these I have listed, if you are self-sponsoring yourself, you may not have the opportunity to get all these benefits. Why I say may is that you may get a job, get a COS, and your employer will still agree to pay for your examination fee or your traveling cost. But some people may not have these benefits. So self-sponsorship comes into play if you are ready to take up the financial implications of your journey, of your relocation journey. Remember I stated that many applicants are also looking for that single vacancy that you are applying for. And in order for you to even come close to facilitating or impressing your employers or recruiters, you will have to make your CV stand out. You will have to make your CV very, very rich. You will have to make your CV stand out amongst the multitude. You have written everything that needs to be written in that CV. In fact, you have modified it several times. You have updated it severally. In fact, you are even tired of doing that. Have you considered this one thing in that your CV, having the NMC PIN? Because to me, I think that if you have this NMC PIN, it will increase your employability rate or your chances of getting a spot for an interview or getting employed by almost or nearly 100%. It's just like you're moving 2 steps ahead of others. If you are from red list country, remember, let's talk about the processes involved and the financial implication. I'm talking to those that already have their IELTS and CBT now. So I'm going to exclude the cost of your English proficiency test and your CBT test. So let's start from this stage that you are now. You have already passed your IELTS, you have passed your CBT. I will try my best to tell you everything that is involved, okay? And I will also talk to 2 categories of persons here. The first one will be those people that do not have anybody in the UK at all. Anybody in the UK at all. And the second one will be on those people that have somebody or a relative or a friend in the UK that can sponsor them. Okay? I will explain. Let's talk about the first set of people. The first set of people, remember, they don't have anybody at all. Because some people are still concerned. They don't know anybody in this foreign country. How are they going to survive? You know, talking about self-sponsorship, fear of the unknown. Let me tell you how you're going to navigate your way around it. If you don't have anybody at all, book for your OSCE. Pick a date for your OSCE examination. The same way you booked for your CBT or register for your CBT, that is the same way you are going to book for your OSCE examination. If you have your OSCE test date, use that test date to apply for your visa. Okay? You apply for your visa and get your visa. After that, you then book for your flight ticket. Okay? Don't worry. Let me just state the steps first, and then we will do the calculations together. We will do the calculations together. Book your OSCE. Then you apply for a visitor's visa. Okay, 6 months visitor's visa. So that is why you need to book for your OSCE first. You have a date first before applying for your visitor's visa, so that you have something to show for your visa application. The next thing is you need to book for your accommodation. Okay, so you can actually get some cheap rooms or cheaper accommodations to stay for a period of just 1 month. Okay, remember, you got a 6 months visitors visa does not mean you are going to stay for the 6 months. Highest, maybe you plan for 1 month. Some people can just book for just 2 weeks. They can come for just 2 weeks during the period of their examination and just go back, just to reduce their cost of living here in the UK. So if you book an accommodation, if you are lucky, you get really cheap accommodation for 1 month, or you get an Airbnb for 2 weeks period. When you book your accommodation, then the next thing you want to do is to book your flights. If you still have significant number of months before your test results expires, you can book way ahead. You can book your flights ahead just for you to get a very cheap one. For the second part, for those that already have somebody in the UK, a relative, a friend that is willing to sponsor you, I mean, the person is willing to apply for your visa, the person is willing to, apply for a visitor's visa for you to come on a visit. This part is for you. You already have somebody that will apply for a visa for you to come and visit them, and then you will use the opportunity to take your examination. So that way, you will not have to pay for your visa application. If the person is willing to cover the cost, you will not have to bother yourself about accommodation. You will not have to bother yourself about feeding. Your own expenses will be reduced as compared to the first set of people that will just start the process from the beginning to the end by themselves financially. So let us do the calculations together. For the first set of people that will be taking up all the responsibilities, after calculating in pounds, we'll then convert it to Naira and in Ghana cedis. I also noticed that I have more audience from Ghana. OSCE test is £794. £794, okay? 794 plus visitors visa fee is 115, okay, plus accommodation is somewhere around 300 to 500. You can get a very cheap accommodation depending on how long you're going to stay. So let us just say on the average you are going to stay for a month, okay, because some people will just want to stay for a month to prepare very well for the examination. It depends on you. So accommodation between 300 and 500, let's pick the average. Let's say plus 400. That is if you're staying for a month. Let me just use that as an example. Let's just say you are going to stay for a month, okay? Otherwise, some people will just come in on the week of their healthcare examination just to cut down the living expenses for a whole month, okay? If you are coming to just stay for 1 week, that means you are going to stay in an Airbnb, let's say between 50 to 70 pounds, depending on the area you are going to stay for Airbnb. That means you are going to pay daily. Return flight ticket. If you book ahead, if you book pretty much ahead, you're going to get a return flight ticket between 700 to 900, okay? Let's take the average to be 800. You got a flight for 800, then plus feeding. During your course of staying in the UK, you are going to eat. So your feeding should cost nothing less than 200 to 300 pounds. I don't know what you will be eating with that much amount anyways. Some people may just spend way lesser than that depending on the number of days you are going to stay. So let me take 200. Some people can really be mindful of how they spend when it comes to feeding. So let us just take 200, okay, plus 200 plus your online classes. Some persons that are not confident in themselves, otherwise I would just recommend you going on YouTube to get classes, and then to just get classes and practice. Some people will say after spending all this amount, they cannot just come and not make the examination, so they will want to pay for extra lesson. So if you are taking an online private lesson or online one-on-one or whichever one, let's say you got one for £100. Yes, it could be expensive. It could be more than that, depending on the online tutor you met or you have, okay? So plus £100. Then transportation within the UK. Transportation, because when you arrive the airport, you are going to take a taxi or you are going to take a bus to your destination, or a train. You are going to take a coach. It could be anything. So transportation, I just wrap it up to be 150 throughout your stay, okay? And this also has to depend on if you are residing close to your exam center. So I just have roughly 150 here, but I don't know if that would be enough. That should be enough if you are living close to the exam center. So if you are living close to the exam center, you will not have to spend too much on transportation, okay? So plus 150, okay? Then last but not the least is miscellaneous. I might have omitted 1 or 2 things that you want to do, but I know that I have listed the vital costs. You know that we are individuals with varies. You may have some extra needs, okay, to do with money. So that is why I have miscellaneous here. I'm just adding extra 300 pounds. Okay, you could reduce it to be 200 or 150 or even 100 pounds, but I'm just adding extra 300 pounds just for you not to be stranded. Okay, maybe needing Wi-Fi. You know, sometimes you may budget for something and then some other little things can just chip in. Okay, so miscellaneous, I wrapped it up to be 300 pounds. So in total I have 2,859. So let us just say 2,860 for those that are going to start the journey from beginning to the end. Now you know the raw estimates. I think you can work your way around this amount. So let us convert this money to Naira and Ghana cedis. 2,860. Okay, 2,860 times, as of today, the 10th of June, exchange rate in Naira is 883.38. Okay, so we're gonna have this in total. That is let us just sum it up to be 5.4. okay, 5.4. so this may be something you can literally afford. Okay, why this may be so high to some other group of people, but now you know that if you are starting the self-sponsorship journey from beginning to the end, you should be looking somewhere around 5M, or even if it's going to be lesser, maybe between 4.5 to 5.4 on the average. Convert it to Ghana cedi was 2,860 times 19.01 equal to 54,368. So equal to 54,368. So that is for the first set of people. The second set of people are those that have somebody in the UK already, a relative, a friend, anybody. They have somebody in the UK that want to sponsor their journey, that want to invite them over, that want to assist them with this relocation journey. So those set of people, the relative may cover their visa fee application cost. So we are excluding the visa fee. We are excluding accommodation because they will definitely stay with this person or this relative or friend of theirs in the UK. So they will not have to bother about accommodation. Your total cost will not be as high as the first group of people. So we have for your OSCE 794 plus visitors visa 115 plus flight tickets 800 plus online classes 100 plus transportation 150, just in case. This may also be taken care of by the person you are visiting, okay, but just in case, plus miscellaneous. This one I will reduce it. I will not scrape it out entirely because it is not proper for you to just go to a place without having some extra change with you, just in case you may need it. So if you don't need it afterwards, better for you, but just in case something arises, then you have something to fall back to. So miscellaneous, we are going to pick 150. Okay, 150. So everything is 2,109. So let us just say 2,110 times exchange rate is 183.38. okay, equal to, there you go, you see. So you have 3.972. So let us just wrap it up to be 4M. You may be having 6M in your mind, 7M in your mind, 8M in your mind, 8 million in your mind, and the cost is just somewhere around 4M plus or minus. Convert to Ghana cedis. All right, 2,110 times, as of today, the 10th of June, exchange rate in Ghana cedi is 19.01. That will give us 40,101 Ghana cedis. In Ghana, you know the worth of this in your currency. I hope I've been able to clear your doubts, and I hope this information was useful. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Okay, if you still have any concern or question, leave it in the comment section. I will do my best to reply you.